Good morning to everyone. We're going live on our platforms. We do this every Tuesday, and we do this for a reason. We want to keep you guys up to date with what we're doing, and also get involved. Get involved in developing yourself. How often do you come to see this engagement and you stop and you look at it, but you really don't make a decision? How many times have you seen us come on and you look at it for a little bit and then you go on doing the same thing? And that's the reason we're here. So many people, they don't understand that they keep doing the same thing. They want better results, but they're not changing. And they don't know why they're not changing. They don't understand that they're not changing because it's hard to change. They're not changing because they're doing all they know how to do. And we're here to tell you that's normal. This is completely normal. For somebody not to want to change is the way we are. We're habitual by nature. We're stubborn. We resist change. We resist being changed. But that's not what we're here for. We're here to give you a better understanding. And we're here for when you're ready to change. There's going to come a time where you finally gather up enough courage, have enough dissatisfaction that you no longer want to be where you are. And for some of you, you may be ready. For some of you, it may be a little down the line. But the encouragement that we're giving you that is possible is what you need. The encouragement that we're giving you is what you need, because this is the only way that you break free, we break free, we develop ourselves, we go beyond, we get better. Better is a good word. Staying the same, in the same grief, same place, same guilt, same fear, same worries. It's not the way to live. And you know that. We all know it. But we still keep doing what we know how to do. But we're here for you when you're ready to make that change. We can take you day by day, step by step, and this is what we do. We have our Scaling for Life class. We do these classes Monday through Friday. Get a winner's edge, a winner's mindset. Monday to Fridays, we're teaching this information every day, 6 a.m. English, Central Standard Time, and in Spanish, Central Standard Time. So it really doesn't matter where you're at in part of the world. You have access to these different classes. We also have it in Farsi as well. There's always an opportunity. We record these. So if you can't make it to the live, you can still have the recordings and you can watch them on your own time. And the truth is, we're doing this very inexpensive for everyone. I'm trying to recall the pricing, but we're doing this, I believe it's for $150 a month. For a little over $200 a month, about $200 a month, you can have this in our Mastery Lifestyle. That's very inexpensive. Right now, today, how much do you pay for television? That gets you nowhere and gets you nothing. But this information gives you 5 days a week. And it also gives you, when you choose to get in a program, you can get involved in a program. And that program is going to take you step by step on how to change you. We don't have a choice. We either stay where we are, or we go and learn from people that have done this. We go and learn from a company that's devoted their time to developing people. And we do this on purpose. We have our Creator's Lifestyle that's going on Tuesdays. We're teaching Thinking and Results. We have our Business Matrix program. We're teaching that on Thinking and Results. We're teaching that on Saturdays. We have our Inner Circle class, so we're doing that on Wednesdays. And we also have our Mastery Lifestyle. We're doing that on Saturdays as well. All these different times, all these different opportunities. And all you have to do is make a decision. Farsi. I don't know the exact times. We're doing that at least 3 or 4 times a week, throughout the week. All you have to do is choose. Choose. Get involved. And you're going to have the opportunity to change. You're going to be with a group that lives changing. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself in the past. I was on the road to nowhere, to nothing. As a young man, I was looking for my purpose in life. A lot of times, looking in the right places, and a lot of times, looking in the wrong places. I was doing things, getting bad results. I was working a normal job, just like everyone else. But I kept doing the same thing, expecting something different to happen, wanting something different to happen outside of me. But this is not the way it works. The truth is, we don't get what we want, we get what we are. We get what we know. And until you're ready to change, nothing changes. And there's no reason to point blame at him or her or outside circumstances or the amount of money I earn. Why? Because that's not the real problem. The real problem, the real issues are what you know. The real issues, the real problems are what you know. You may say, well, I don't get it. When we look at mindset and we look at the way we think, we really never observed our minds. We really just do things. And that's the biggest problem. The biggest problem is we just do things without thinking about why we're doing them. I can go back and find people that didn't change their mindset when I was working on tires. I can go back and I can find those people. Nothing really ever changed in their life. They spent the rest of the years, the rest of their time, doing more or less the same thing. It's a mindset. Then I went to the drilling rigs. And I found people at the drilling rigs. They desired more. They wanted more. They wanted to earn more money. As I went to the drilling rigs, and I did that for about a year. But I can go back and I can find those people still there. Why are they still there? They enjoyed the money. But they never changed beyond that. Why? They're living okay lives, but they're stuck, and they're not happy. Before that, right after that, I went to go work as a mechanic. Same company, but I went to the service industry. And I can find most of those people still there. Is that an accident? No. We keep doing what we know how to do. Something inside of us says we want more. We all want more. But we're not willing to do more. And this is completely normal. Because the lower part of our consciousness does not want to do more. We want to keep doing what we know and play it safe. That's why we stay stuck. We have a completely normal brain when we don't want to get out of our comfort zone. We have a completely normal operating brain when we have fear, doubts, worries. There's nothing wrong with you. You're absolutely normal. Go look around. Go find how many people stay doing what they do. This is absolutely normal. What's not normal is getting out of that comfort zone. What's not normal is going beyond what you know how to do. What is not normal is changing your routine, changing your habit. What's not normal is developing yourself to become somebody different. That's not normal. And that's why so very few people are doing it, have done it in the past. You say, what happened? How did that person change? How did they become so wealthier? How did they get that other job? Or how did they go beyond and they left everybody? They were willing to unlearn and keep unlearning themselves. That's the problem. When you're willing to face yourself and say, you know what? I did this. When you're willing to face yourself in the mirror and stop blaming situations, circumstances, when you're willing to face the fact that I've done this, I attracted the home, I attracted the relationships, I attracted the amount of money I earned, I decided how many times I would take off a year by what I do. I decided this house and where the house is and how the house looks according to what I know and what I do. I decided the vehicles I would have or not have by what I know and what I keep doing. That's the fundamental key for all of this that we're teaching, is knowing that you have to change. But having the right information is key. Surrounding yourself with the right environment is fundamental. It's a fundamental key. Why is this a fundamental key? Because if we're not willing to get out of the comfort zone, we are all we are ever going to be. That's it. Let me go to a drawing here. If we're not willing to change, get out of that comfort zone, we are all we are ever going to be. And that's a sad, sad thing. And you might find yourself there. But you've got to be willing to get to know yourself better. Get in the habit of changing yourself. And I know it's going to be hard. We teach this for a living. We watch people. I want to, but I don't do it. I want to, but I don't do it. I'm too scared to call. I'm too scared to make the changes. I don't want to get up in the morning. I don't want to study. I know what you're facing. I faced it. I don't want to spend any money on myself. Why can't I just have it? It doesn't work that way. You see people that pay attention. If you don't pay for this, you're not going to pay attention. It's not going to change you. You're not going to use it to change you because you don't see the value in it. I'm going to read this, and I want you to think about this before I start reading. I have a brain, you have a brain. But my brain does not think. Your brain does not think. But we think through our brain. So here's the key that you were missing all this time. You may say, well, what is it? It's your mindset. It's the thing that's unseen, that's working, that's thinking through your brain. Your brain does not think. You think through your brain. You think through your brain. And this is the reason why every time you're thinking about going somewhere off, some other distance, do another thing, the minute you start to think, I want to go there and there's a place, you start looking back at yourself and asking yourself, is it possible for me? Can I do that? And that's the problem. Because when you start thinking, is it possible for me? You're checking yourself to see if it's possible for you according to past history, according to past results. Let's look at this. The brain is a motor. It is a mechanical part that moves the body into action, transmuting ideas into motion. The brain is a motor. It is the mechanical part that moves the body into action, transmuting ideas into motion. The body is the instrument of the mind. The body is the instrument of the mind, taking orders from the brain. Clearly understand that the brain can only move according to the mind, which is unseen to the human eye, but visible action produced from its originating source, your thoughts. The brain is an electronic switching station. It is a broadcasting and receiving station. You see, when you think, you start to transmit ideas. You are a broadcasting and receiving station. My brain does not think, I think through my brain. So as you begin to think, you begin to vibrate, which means imagine. And when you imagine beyond circumstances and conditions, you start to tap on information you've never had before. And that's how you get light images back into the screen of your mind. That's your strategy. How many times do you begin to think, but you're imagining, thinking is imagining, but you're imagining from conditions and circumstances? That's why you stay stuck. What about every time you start thinking from, and you start using your imagination to think from your past? Let's use the word imagination as it is the creative state of your personality. It begins to regroup ideas. How many times your imagination only regroup your past experiences? How much of the imagination keeps regrouping what you already know? We use this image called the stick person so that we can relate. Stick person, so that we can relate to get a better understanding of how our mind works. Again, I was talking about something unseen. The mind, the brain, we can see it. We can see the brain. You can pull the brain out of a body and you can see the brain. It said that they took Einstein's brain when he left. Look, when he left, they took Einstein's brain and they put that brain in a jar. But guess what? They didn't find Einstein. Why? Because he had left. The thing that made the brain alive was gone. We see, we have a brain. We use a brain. We think through our brain. But it's the part that's unseen. And this is what we call the mind. It's always thinking. It's always vibrating. It's always in a state of change and movement. Perpetual transmutation of thought energy. But it's rare you find somebody that really wants to figure out what they are, that really wants to change what they are. Let's look at another idea that's going to blow your mind. One, we have figured out that the brain does not think on its own. The brain does not think on its own. And it's funny when you look at words, because the thinking part is its energy. The thinking part is its energy, and it's not the brain. But it thinks through its brain. It's, again, we're going back to it. We're going back to mind, its energy. Look at this. The body alone, again, the brain alone does not think. Brain alone does not think. Look at this. The body alone does not live. This is huge. So now we discover that the brain alone does not think, but we think through our brain. And now that we're getting this better, the body alone does not live. The body has no power nor life on its, here we go again, own. So here we went back to its energy. Now we're getting a better understanding. It, remember I said Einstein had left earlier? So here we go. The brain alone does not think. It thinks through its energy. So this mind, this divine spark that they find in the brain, that gives the brain life, is that divine spark. And here we go again. Now, its energy, the body alone has no power nor life, only through its divine spark. So now we're starting to see that this intelligence is what gives the body life and power. Scientists know that the minute that this spark is gone, this given life to that body, if it's gone, the body immediately flatlines and it's off to another place. Its energy is off to another place. The body alone is a dumb terminal. The body alone is a dumb terminal. It has no power, no life. That's why if that intelligence cannot communicate to the body, they have to put machines on the body so it stays alive, so that it moves all those organs and does all those things for it. The body alone has no life nor power. So now you're getting a better understanding. This X mind, this intelligent mind, is the thing that gives life and power to the brain, through the brain, through the body. And then we keep seeing exterior results outside of yourself. So here we have the mind moving this power through your conscious mind, again, as you think, down through your subconscious mind, as you think, to the body that is solely an instrument, and expressed through behavior in form. You see the house outside of yourself. You see the car as you're outering outside of yourself. You see your relationships, again, clearly all outside of yourself. You attract these friends, family. You attracted your relationships. You've attracted everything outside of yourself, and you experience it. Now we're understanding that experiential is a human part of your personality. Spirituality is the inner side of your personality. So here we go and we get the better understanding that we are spiritual beings. We are first spiritual beings, first and last. Spiritual beings experiencing life outside of ourselves. Because this intelligence that's thinking, it's what's creating your reality. This is where we understand we can never get outside of ourselves. We experience ourselves outside of ourselves. You're saying, I want more and I want better results. You're saying out here, you're picking up information in your 3D world, of which you are the center. I was getting terrible results. I was earning the amount of money that I was earning, not because I couldn't earn more, but because I didn't know how to earn more. I was renting a house that I did not want to be in. Because I went and found a job that was not going to pay me the amount of money. I went and found a job that was a poor job. So by law, because I picked a poor job, the result is little money. And the money sends a light image to what kind of car I'm going to purchase. And it controls the wheels I drive. And the money controls the home I live in. So the job controlled the amount of money I earn. The job, you would say the job is the reason why I earn this kind of money. And you may say, well, the job's the problem. But the job's not the problem, because who went and found the job? This is why this is so confusing. We're trying to figure out, what the hell's the problem here? What's going on in my life? You're not putting things in the right order. You are informed. Who told you to do what you do? What caused you to behave as you behave? See, majority of the people don't know that their subconscious is the lower part of the personality, but it's also the doing part of the personality. Your intellect is up here in your conscious mind. You're hearing me right now. Intellectually, you're saying, I think I'm understanding this. Or you may say, I know this. You can hear me. These are your senses. Y'all can hear me. You're picking up this information from the 3D world. So you can hear me right here. Here. When you listen, you're emotionally involved with what I'm saying. And then this information is coming into the mind. And as this information comes into the mind, it hears the words I'm saying, and it's lighting up the higher side of your personality. And as it lights this up, and I say cat, dog, refrigerator, TV, it's coming down and sending a electrical pulse to the mind. And then it goes into this cabinet, which we call the past. This is what we call memory. Memories. In this box, you have miles and miles and miles of memory. So as you start to think, you go into your memory box, or you can, in the subconscious, we're going to talk about these, we're going to separate these areas, and we're going to say that you've got an infinite box, which is universal intelligence. This is your imagination. This is where your mind can run free. Every now and then you go here and you start to go to your imagination, but you never go beyond. You normally stick with what you know. It is very rare that you see somebody choosing to go into the imagination and recreating their life. The average individual goes with what they know and stays right on target. They let that idea tell their intellect what they're going to do. Choose. This is the doing part of your personality. And this is why so many people are living today. They know they can do more, but they just keep doing what they know. And this light image goes into the body, producing results over and over again, and you don't change. You would think, well, the job's the problem. That's why he's not earning the amount of money. The job's a problem. The job's a problem. The job's a problem. It's part of the problem. You picked the job. I'm going to go back to myself because this is how I can better relate to you. I'll never forget my father telling me that if you don't get an education, you're going to have to wear the boots of a laborer. If you don't get an education, you're going to need to wear the boots of a laborer. And you're going to work hard. So I'm getting done with school, and I don't want to continue going to school. I felt school was not for me at the time. That school. And it's time for me to grow up. It's time for me to get out of mom and dad's house, their home, their place. I want to build a life of my own. So what do I go and do? I go back to my memory box and I start to think of what I know. You see? So when you begin to think, I began to go back to my memory box of what I knew how to do, of what I was taught how to do. So as I begin to think, I'm thinking, I want more. I'm in my 3D world, I want to have more. And I begin to think. That means imagine beyond where I'm at. And I go back and I really don't know how to go beyond where I'm at because I'm exploring the world that I've never explored before. So I begin to think what's possible for me for what I know. And I remember my father telling me, if you don't want to get an education, you're going to have to wear the boots of a laborer. So I find myself going looking for a job and even going looking for boots. Automatic. He'd been telling that to me my whole life. So what am I getting ingrained my whole life? You think your behavior has been what it's been by accident? No. What they keep repeating to you, what they keep telling you. If they say, you're going to have to live a certain way, and you just follow along, that's what you do, that's what you experience. I went and found dumb jobs. I don't mean it in a bad way, but I went and found dumb jobs. I remember people being in poverty all around me as a child. And I wonder what was wrong with everyone. And you would think, well, it's the jobs problem issue. They're doing what they know how to do. They're raised around people doing the same thing. So what job do you go pick? Some people desire more and they go find another job. I found people, I did the same thing. I went to the drilling rigs. I can go back today and find them there. That's not the problem. I found a lot of people in drilling rigs that wanted out, but they stayed there. Why? I found people that stayed in the tire store. I found people there for 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 60 years. I've found people that have stayed in the tire business. Retired there. What do they keep experiencing? The same life. Why? Because they wouldn't stop doing what they know. Where are you at today? What are you doing? And you're not even aware why you cannot stop doing what you know. This is a big issue, big problem. People all over the world stuck. They didn't know that there's a program inside of them. You want to test me? Go try and not show up today. You want to test me? Go try and not show up today. You're going to say, oh, I can't do that because that's all I know. That's what you're saying. I can't do that because that's how I earn money. You're right. Has anybody ever stopped you from going any further? You're going to say, well, not physically, but mentally, yes. I found people, tire business, I was one of them. For $1,000, 200 days, 1,200 days, I kept doing the same thing over and over again. Nothing was going to change. If I didn't change, I could have done it for 5 years. I could have done it for 10, 20, 60. I could still be there today if I wouldn't have changed. Now, I go see the same thing happening in every occupation. People wanting more, but they don't do more. They want more, but they don't do more. They want more. They want more money. They want the result, but they're not willing to change themselves. That's the problem. I've seen people as nurses. I've seen people as surgical techs that want more, but they still keep showing up to do the same thing. They don't change themselves. They could keep going doing what they're doing. I found people in the trucking business. I went to trucking. They're still there. The tiremen, they were still there. Medical field, medical, they're still there. And everybody wants out. But they don't know what's keeping them stuck. That's what we teach. Everybody wants more, and they don't know how to get more. They didn't know what a paradigm is. Paradigm is a multitude of habits. Multitude of habits. And almost all behavior is habitual. The paradigm is already a habit. Paradigm is a habit. They didn't know they had a paradigm. That means they didn't know how to habit. It was controlling their behavior. But that's part of the problem. The issue is they have a program. And the program has its beliefs. Now we're getting to the higher understanding. It is thinking. Look, the mind, when you're born, its beliefs. And this is what's been controlling your behavior. This is telling your body what to do. This develop habits and behaviors. This is living your life. This is why you keep living in the same manner, same way. This is why you need to change yourself. Mindset, mindset, mindset. Where is your mind set? Look at the outside world. It's telling you. I've worked with doctors in the medical field. A doctor stuck. I've worked with attorneys stuck. They couldn't get out of it. I've worked with psychologists that study the mind that are stuck, and I've helped them get out. Change. Because they didn't understand this information. I've worked with athletes stuck. There is a program inside of you, and if you don't change it, it'll govern you. 1,200 days, I repeated that story over and over again till my desire was big enough to change me. When your desire is not big enough to change, to show up here, to get in classes, you don't change. This is why a burning desire is so important. Really figure out what it is that you want. Because when the desire is not big enough, you don't want to change. You reject change. When the desire is not big enough, you will reject, literally reject Change. Why would somebody reject change? Because the desire is not bigger than their beliefs. They don't believe that they can do it. Ultimately, that's why you're stuck. Because you don't not believe that you can do more. And the habitual behavior that we have by nature. We're habitual by nature. We've got bad habits, we got habits. We have good habits, and we've got a whole lot of bad habits. And if you have that, you do not have the habit of changing yourself, guess what you're going to be like in 40 and 60 years, experiencing the same thing. The question is, do you have to do what I did? No, you don't. I spent more time than that. I spent 10 years, 11 years in the trucking industry. Trucking, rigs, pulling units, vac trucks, pump trucks, hot oil units, and oil and gas. Learning to do the same thing over and over again, thinking life's going to change. Learning to do the same thing over again, thinking life's going to change. It's not. We think money's the problem. It's not. You think the business is the problem? It's not. The business is giving people opportunities for what they know. I'm going to say that again. Businesses give people opportunities for what they know. We have a company, I built companies. I give people opportunities for what they know. You want to fall in line? Go ahead. I got a place for you. You want to stay there for 60 years and retire? Go ahead. I got a place for you. But I also encourage everyone in my companies. You're so much more. I knew what it was to be stuck. I knew what it was to need money, to need to earn money. I know that money pays for things. But the truth is, you got to be willing to change what you are, who you are, change the way you think. To change who you are. I wanted to give people opportunities to grow. I started to build companies because I knew that's where they all go. Why does everybody go to a company? Because that's how they know how to earn money. Are you getting it now? Why does everybody go get a job? Because they have to earn money. No. I want to help everyone. But very few people are willing to help themselves. But I'm looking for you. But I'm looking for you. I'm looking for the little child. I'm looking for that inner voice that's inside of that individual that says, I was meant for more. I'm looking for that little voice inside of him and her that says, I don't want to be here anymore. I'm looking for that inner voice that says, I'm ready to grow. I know I'm somebody and I want to be somebody. I'm looking for people that are done, that are sick and tired of repeating the same day over and over again. And we all do it. We all do it. But when you're ready to break free, this is what we teach. Really think about what I'm saying. We repeat the same lessons over and over again until we learn. That's why you earn the same amount of money every week. That's why you earn the same money. Tells you where your mindset's at. The job you picked, the house, the car, the vacations you take or don't take. Money tells you where your mindset is at. And you repeat it over and over again. I kept putting the same boots on. 3, 4 years. Same boots, same place, same results. You repeat the lesson every day till you learn. How many more days are you going to stay where you're at? Take a look at what we're doing. Send me a message. You want to change? We're here. We're here to help you change. Life is wonderful, and it was always meant for more. You guys have a wonderful day.